Welcome to the module, Using Your Voice to Successfully Manage Student Behavior. We value your time and appreciate your active participation during this module. Here are a few suggested learning norms to make the most of your time. If possible, work in an environment with as few distractions as possible so you can engage and reflect. Take notes and jot down ideas and questions as needed. Lastly, use this time wisely to ensure your professional learning with university instructors is productive. Here's the agenda for this module: Introduction, understanding your vocal presence, using voice to de-escalate and redirect, voice to reinforce positive behavior, practical tips and strategies, and final reflection and summary of learning. By the end of this module, participants will be able to identify the key components of vocal delivery and explain how each influences student behavior and classroom dynamics, understand how to use voice effectively to de-escalate challenging behaviors and redirect student attention, apply vocal strategies to reinforce positive student behavior, and reflect on vocal habits and develop one actionable goal to improve voice use. Let's begin with a quick introduction about how to use your voice as an effective tool and why that matters in the classroom. Your voice is one of the most powerful tools you have in the classroom. It's not just about the words you use, but how you use them. Your voice conveys emotion, authority, calmness, and expectations all at the same time. Without even realizing it, the way you speak can communicate safety, trust, and confidence, or it can create tension, anxiety, or confusion. In moments of disruption or defiance, your voice can either escalate the situation or help de-escalate it. For example, raising your voice out of frustration might feel like it gives you control, but in many cases, it actually signals to students that you've lost it. On the other hand, speaking with calm authority, steady tone, moderate pace, and clear intent can quickly settle a tense moment and signal to students that you're in charge without being confrontational. The goal is to use your voice with intention so students know what to expect from you and how to respond. That consistency is key to building a respectful and well-managed learning environment. Research consistently shows that students respond more positively to teachers who use controlled and purposeful vocal cues. This means speaking with intention, adjusting your tone, volume, and pace to match the situation rather than reacting emotionally. When students hear a calm, steady voice, especially during stressful or disruptive moments, it signals safety and stability. They're more likely to trust the teacher, follow directions, and remain engaged. On the other hand, inconsistent or reactive vocal patterns, like yelling, sarcasm, or speaking too quickly, can increase anxiety, confusion, or defiance, especially for students who may already struggle with self-regulation. By intentionally managing our voice, we create a learning environment that feels emotionally safe and predictable, where students know what to expect and how to respond. In turn, this supports not only better behavior, but stronger relationships and more effective teaching overall. Before we continue, think for a moment. How do you currently use your voice when managing student behavior? What's working well and what could improve? Pause the video to jot down your initial reflections. In this next section, We're going to focus on something that often goes unnoticed in classroom management, your vocal presence. This is more than just speaking clearly. It's about how your voice shapes the way students perceive your authority, mood, and expectations. The way you use your voice, your tone, volume, pace, and pitch, can completely shift the energy in your classroom. Vocal presence refers to how your voice is perceived beyond the actual words you say. It includes four main elements: tone, volume, pacing, and pitch. Each of these components sends a message to your students, often conveying more meaning than the words themselves. For example, your tone can express warmth, frustration, or calmness, while your volume can indicate urgency or encourage quiet attention. Pacing, how quickly or slowly you speak, can help students process information or create a sense of excitement. Pitch, or the highness or lowness of your voice, can signal confidence or uncertainty. Together, these elements shape your vocal presence and play a critical role in managing student behavior and setting the emotional tone of your classroom. Tone is one of the most powerful aspects of your vocal presence because it directly reflects your emotional state. When you use a calm, neutral tone, it can help soothe students and create a sense of safety in the classroom. In contrast, harsh or sharp tones can provoke resistance or defensiveness, making it harder to manage behavior. Friendly tones, on the other hand, encourage engagement and build positive relationships. Alongside tone, volume plays a crucial role in how your message is received. Volume communicates urgency and commands attention, but it's important to find the right balance. Speaking too loudly can come across as yelling or frustration, which may escalate tensions, while speaking too softly risks not being heard or taken seriously. Striking that just right volume helps maintain authority and respect without overwhelming or losing students. Pace, the speed at which you speak, has a significant impact on how students process information and respond to your instructions. Speaking too quickly can overwhelm students, making it hard for them to follow along, though it can sometimes convey excitement or urgency when appropriate. Slowing down your pace gives students the time they need to focus, absorb directions, and respond thoughtfully, which is especially important during behavior redirection or complex instructions. Pitch, which refers to the highness or lowness of your voice, also influences how your message is received. A higher pitch can sometimes sound anxious, uncertain, or less authoritative, which might undermine your presence in the classroom. Conversely, maintaining a steady, moderate pitch communicates confidence and control, helping to establish your authority while keeping the classroom calm and engaged. Let's do some vocal practice. I will say a common classroom phrase 3 ways and you repeat after me. Please put your materials away. Please put your materials away. Please put your materials away. Which felt more effective? Which would you want students to hear more often? Pause the video at this time to write down your thoughts. Most instructors usually find that number 1, calm and moderate, is most effective. This assertive, confident tone communicates control, respect, and clear expectations without escalating the situation. It models self-regulation and builds a safe emotional climate. Students are more likely to comply when directions are calm and steady, and it encourages respectful communication on both sides. Even though number 2 might feel powerful in the moment, it often comes across as frustrated or aggressive, which can trigger student resistance or anxiety, especially for students sensitive to tone or with trauma backgrounds. Number 3 is too soft and timid, suggesting a lack of confidence or control. Your tone and pace set the emotional temperature of the room. Staying calm, even when firm, helps prevent escalation and supports a positive classroom culture. Whether an instructor comes across as aggressive or assertive is about much more than just what students see visually. Take a look at these pictures. We can make some assumptions about which instructor appears aggressive and which seems assertive based on their eyes, mouth, hands, and posture. However, the words we choose and how we say them play a huge role in how students perceive us and whether they are open to receiving and growing from our feedback. For example, the instructor on the left might actually be saying, "I knew you could do it." Even though her body language appears aggressive, her words are positive and encouraging. On the other hand, the instructor on the right could be saying, "Now, why would you say something as foolish as that?" Her body language seems assertive, but her words come across as passive-aggressive. Next, let's explore what 3 different teacher voices look and sound like and how they impact student perception and behavior. This chart highlights the key differences between passive, assertive, and aggressive communication styles. Passive communicators often hold back their thoughts and feelings, avoiding eye contact and speaking softly. This can lower their own self-esteem and lead to putting others' needs before their own. On the other end of the spectrum, aggressive communicators express themselves with irritation or anger, often speaking loudly and focusing only on their own needs, which can reduce others' self-esteem. Assertive communication, however, strikes a healthy balance. Assertive individuals express themselves clearly and confidently while respecting others. They maintain eye contact, speak firmly, and can say no in a calm, direct way. This approach builds confidence, supports positive relationships, and ensures that both their own needs and the needs of others are valued. This slide outlines the key characteristics of effective communication. Effective communication begins with active listening, truly focusing on what the other person is saying rather than just preparing your response. It's also important to use clear, concise language to avoid confusion while keeping the volume conversational and words non-threatening. Nonverbal communication, like body language and eye contact, play a major role in how messages are received. Empathy helps build trust and understanding, allowing you to connect on a personal level. Asking clarifying questions ensures you fully understand the message, and providing feedback shows engagement and respect. Altogether, these elements support open, respectful, and productive dialogue in both professional and personal settings. Let's pause to reflect. Which aspect of your vocal presence do you feel most comfortable controlling? Which one is the biggest challenge for you? Stop the video at this time to jot down your thoughts, as well as how you will address any vocal challenges you identified. In this section, we'll explore how the tone, pace, and volume of your voice can be powerful tools in managing student behavior and maintaining a calm classroom environment. The goal isn't just to stop unwanted behavior, but to guide students back on track in a respectful, non-confrontational way. We'll look at how adjusting your voice, lowering your tone, slowing your speech, and choosing calm, confident language can help de-escalate tense situations and redirect attention positively. Remember, the way we use our voice often communicates more than our words themselves, setting the tone for safety, respect, and cooperation. When a student is upset or acting out, the way we use our voice can either diffuse the situation or unintentionally make it worse. One of the most powerful tools we have in these moments is a calm, steady voice. Speaking in a calm tone helps lower anxiety, not just for the student, but for the rest of the class as well. It communicates that you're in control without needing to raise your voice or show visible frustration, which often only fuels the behavior. In fact, softening your voice, bringing your volume down, can often be more effective than raising it. When we speak softly but intentionally, it draws students in and signals that we are in control and inviting cooperation, not confrontation. At the same time, we still want to give clear, firm directions. This means being concise, using simple language, and delivering it with confidence. We're not yelling, but we're also not uncertain. Lastly, don't underestimate the power of strategic pausing. After giving an instruction, pause. Don't fill the silence. This gives students a moment to process and comply. It also communicates that you expect follow-through without repeating yourself or escalating the tone. Together, these vocal strategies help shift the classroom energy and build a tone of calm authority. Let's watch a quick video on how this can be done in a classroom setting. While you watch, look for examples of how the teachers use the vocal characteristics we just described.
We read about it, we thought about it, we wrote about it, now we get a chance to talk about it.
The tone of a teacher's voice is just as powerful as the words that are used.
And that's the part that's really super hard.
The tone should be confident, whether conveying empathy,
7:20. Okay, are you okay today?
Yeah.
excitement,
Excited! So everybody, let's.
or authority.
I want all computers closed to 3/4. And if I can see everybody.
A measured, quiet voice can sometimes be more powerful than a loud one.
See if that will help you communicate your message by giving the reader a feeling.
Whoosh.
Yelling or shrill speech are almost never as effective as calm, clear directions.
You can hear my voice clap once. You can hear my voice clap twice. So I'd like your clipboards down, pencils down, and let's talk about how we're gonna work today.
What examples of these vocal characteristics did you notice? All teachers demonstrated a calm, steady voice. When the teacher was speaking to the student who was visibly frustrated, she softened her voice. The teacher asking for students' attention used clear, firm commands. Closed laptops and everyone's attention. Think about a recent behavior challenge you experienced. How might adjusting your voice have changed the outcome? What would you do differently next time? Stop the video to write down your thoughts. In this section, we'll focus on how the way we use our voice can strengthen and sustain positive behavior in the classroom. Our tone, volume, and word choice send powerful messages that can motivate students and reinforce expectations. When we use an encouraging tone, genuine praise, and consistent verbal cues, we help students feel recognized and valued for making good choices. The goal is to use our voice intentionally, to highlight what's going right, build confidence, and create a positive classroom culture where students are eager to engage and succeed. When we talk about praise, it's important to remember that tone and delivery matter just as much as the words themselves. Praise that's said with genuine warmth and enthusiasm feels authentic and uplifting to students. An upbeat tone communicates that you truly mean what you're saying and that you notice and value their efforts. When praise sounds sincere and specific, it becomes more motivating and memorable, reinforcing the behaviors we want to see more of in the classroom. Varying your tone and volume when giving praise helps keep students attentive and makes your recognition feel more meaningful. When you use an energetic, louder tone, it can build excitement and celebrate the moment for the whole class. On the other hand, a softer, more personal tone can make praise feel special and individualized, showing students that you see and appreciate their effort. Mixing these approaches keeps your feedback fresh, authentic, and engaging. Students are more likely to stay motivated when your voice reflects genuine interest and variety. A brief pause after giving praise can be just as powerful as the praise itself. When you take a moment to pause, you allow the recognition to settle in. It signals to the student and the rest of the class that the behavior you just acknowledged truly matters. That short silence gives the student space to absorb the compliment and feel proud of their actions. It also communicates confidence and intentionality in your delivery, reinforcing that positive behavior deserves attention and reflection, not just a quick remark before moving on. Let's stop for a minute to think about the following question. How can changing your vocal tone improve the effectiveness of your praise in the classroom? Pause the video at this time to reflect. Possible answers might be, changing your vocal tone can make praise more effective by adding emotion and authenticity to your words. A warm, upbeat tone communicates genuine appreciation, helping students feel that their effort is truly noticed and valued. When your tone matches your message, students perceive the praise as sincere rather than routine. Varying tone also keeps students engaged. It draws their attention and makes positive feedback more memorable. In short, how you say it reinforces what you say, strengthening the impact of your praise and encouraging students to repeat the positive behavior. Now we will shift from theory to practice by focusing on concrete tips and strategies you can use right away in the classroom. These strategies are designed to help you apply what we've discussed about tone, voice, and communication in real situations. We'll look at simple, effective ways to reinforce positive behaviors, de-escalate challenging moments, and keep students engaged through intentional use of voice and presence. The goal is to build a toolkit of techniques that feel natural, sustainable, and impactful in everyday teaching. These strategies focus on strengthening your vocal awareness and control, key components of effective communication in the classroom. Start by self-monitoring your voice. Recording yourself or asking a trusted colleague for feedback can help you recognize patterns you may not notice in the moment, such as speaking too quickly or letting your tone rise under stress. Next, practice breath control. Taking slow, deep breaths before speaking helps you stay calm, regulate your tone, and project confidence, especially during moments of classroom management. Finally, incorporate simple vocal warm-ups like humming or gentle pitch slides to improve clarity and prevent strain throughout the day. Just a few minutes of attention to your voice can make a noticeable difference in your presence and effectiveness. To communicate effectively, it's important to combine both visual and vocal cues. Use gestures, maintain eye contact, and be mindful of your body language to reinforce the messages you're delivering with your voice. This consistency helps your audience connect with and understand your message more clearly. Consider speaking in front of a mirror to identify any body language that you may be exhibiting unintentionally, like crossed arms, hands on hips, furrowing your brow, or frowning. Additionally, practicing different vocal strategies, such as varying your tone, pace, and volume, in low-pressure situations can help you build confidence and find what works best for you before speaking in more important settings. You might record yourself practicing these strategies so you can hear your voice from the perspective of the recipient. Let's reflect one final time. Which of these tips do you think you could easily implement tomorrow? What's your plan to practice it? Stop the video to write down your reflections. In this module, we have learned applicable strategies for using our voice to manage student behavior. Let's summarize the key points. The 4 key components of vocal delivery, tone, volume, pace, and pitch, play a powerful role in influencing student behavior, either positively or negatively. By understanding and using these vocal elements intentionally, you can effectively de-escalate challenging situations and redirect behavior in a calm and respectful manner. Additionally, reinforcing positive behavior through an enthusiastic tone, thoughtful timing, and deliberate vocal choices helps motivate students and creates a supportive learning environment. We hope you enjoyed this module on using your voice to successfully manage student behavior. Please complete the Check for Understanding, or CFU, and the survey included in the Google Classroom. Thank you, and we look forward to providing continued support for your professional growth at University Instructors.